Hey everybody, I've been getting a few questions lately, both on my YouTube and my stream, as to why I chose some of the gear and skill I did. So I figured I'd make a video real quick, see if I can't get some of those questions answered. I chose Slash Zeal because our single target DPS is kind of low. It gives us something else to hit the Rift Guardian with, also something else to cause procs for Mirror A. For Eckert's Champion, which all Crusaders love, I chose Prophet for the additional armor, takes a lot of damage off. Also, it gives you the when you die, in fact, you don't die, which is great for when you're not paying too much attention, take a little burst of damage you weren't expecting. For Condemn, I chose Vacuum over Unleashed. It leaves the 3-second build-up time, but it sucks everything around you in. You end up hitting more people, and hitting more people do more damage, kills mobs a lot quicker. For Provoke, I run Too Scared to Run. This ability serves a couple purposes. It's both my main wrath generator, as well as it slows down mobs' movement speeds and attack speed, puts in a little more survivability, and keeps those mobs that like to run from you a little closer, makes it a little harder for them to run. For my Law, I run Law of Valor Unstoppable Force. It gives you the attack speed bonus, which isn't that impressive with this build, but it gives you a 50% wrath cost reduction. So with that plus Provoke, I can spam my Condemns full time, keeping Taguk up, which I'll show you later. For my last slot, I'm currently running Iron Skin Steel Skin. It gives me a little more survivability, lets me stand in stuff a little more when I'm trying to get out of it. The other choice here is going to be Steed Charge Endurance. Gets you out of spots a little quicker, lets you get between packs of mobs a little quicker. I'm not sure which one's better. I should probably be running Steed Charge. I just like to not die. For my passives, I run Finery, just straight damage increase. I'm currently running Long Arm of the Law, gives my Unstoppable Force a little longer uptime, makes it easier to continually spam my Condemns. The other choice here is Holy Cause. Just gives you a straight 10% damage increase. I'm running Indestructible because stuff happens. You die every now and then. This makes it where instead of dying, you get a bubble that makes you immune to damage and gives you a 35% damage increase while the bubble's up. Gives you some time to heal, lets your follower heal you. And the one we all have to run, Heavenly Strength, just because we have to run the two-hander to make this work well. For my Paragons, they're pretty simple. You put movement speed up to 25% and then dump the rest into strength. For offense, you put cooldown reduction up all the way. You're trying to hit the magical 56% CDR to have full-time accurates. And then critical hit chance, critical hit damage, depends whether you have more crit hit chance or crit hit damage on your gear. My crit hit chance is much higher than my critical hit damage, so I dumped it in there first and then overflowed into critical hit chance. For defense, I maxed out resist all first. My resistances on my gear aren't that high, and this is just a lot of damage reduction. Then I went into life regen because you take a lot of damage being in melee. Getting some of it back is always helpful. I went into life over armor because with the Accurate Champion Prophet, you hit the diminishing returns kind of quickly with that, and just having a higher buffer on health, I've noticed I got a little more survivability than just having a little extra armor. For utility, I've capped out resource cost reduction. We're trying to spam as many condemns as possible, and the cheaper they are, the more you get out. Then I went on to life on hit. Once again, we take a lot of damage being in melee range, so anything you can do to get the life back is very helpful. And after that, I went into area damage because gold find's just useless. As far as gear goes, there is one required piece for this build. It's the Freighter's Wrath. Currently only in seasonal, but once the next season starts, it'll move over to the normal loot tables. It removes the cooldown from Condemn, makes it cost 40 Wrath, no longer has 15-second cooldown. Some other items that make it work a lot better though is the Blade of Prophecy. When your Condemn explodes and hits mobs, it causes those mobs to in turn trigger a Condemn. Now this only happens up to 2 times, and I don't believe the explosion hits the mob that it is exploding off of, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Running 6 set of con with the boots, leggings, chest piece, shoulders, and gloves. What this does is while it accurates up for the 4 set, it reduces all resource cost by 50%, makes it where we can spam a lot more condemns. And the 6 set makes it where the cooldown of Eckert's Champion is reduced by 50%, which means if we hit 56% cooldown reduction in our gear, that we can have Eckert's Champion up full time, increases our damage by 35%, gives us 150% more armor. You really want to do your best to hit that. To facilitate the 6 set, I'm running the Ring of Royal Grandeur as one of my rings. For my second ring, I change them depending on whether I'm running solo or if I'm running with a group. If I'm running solo, I have a Unity as well as another Unity on my Templar to work with the Your Templar Can't Die relic to pretty much just reduce my damage taken by 50%. And if I'm running with a group, I run my Stone of Jordan. I don't so much need the damage reduction with the people I run with. We kill stuff really quick, so just posting out more damage is optimal there. For my helm, I'm running Laeric's Crown. The reason I run this over Akan's helm and drop the Ring of Royal Grandeur for Stone of Jordan full time is because the secondary ability increases the effect of any gem you put into the socket by 75 to 100%. So if you put a maxed out diamond, which gives you 12.5% cooldown reduction, it's actually giving you 25% cooldown reduction, which makes it a lot easier to hit the 56% chance that we need. I do currently run 3 legendary gems. I'm running the Bane of the Trapped, which increases all damage against control impaired mobs, slowed mobs, stunned mobs by, right now I'm getting 27.3%, and at level 25 it gives you an aura that slows the movement of mobs, which does trigger the increased damage of anything within 15 yards of you. So it's pretty much just a permanent 27% damage increase on anything around me. For my second gem, I run Mirror. What this does is you have a 15% chance every time you hit to smite for 3640. I think it starts at 2000 and goes up from there. Weapon damage is holy. This does scale with plus holy damage, and I typically see anywhere from 125 million to 175 million crits off of this. And at level 25s, this gem picks up smite every 5 seconds regardless of whether you're hitting something. My third gem I change out a little bit depending on the mood or what I'm doing. Currently I typically run Teguk, which gives you a plus 0.5% damage increase per stack. It starts at maximum of 20 stacks and goes up by 1 for every level you put into it. Also at level 25 you get a 0.5% armor increase for every stack, so it also increases your survivability as it increases your damage. It does take a little work getting used to being able to just continually spam the Condemn, remembering to do it every 3 seconds. It tends to fall off when you go through a door. Sometimes the load screens take a little longer than other times and you just can't keep it up. The other one I switch this out for every now and then is Bane of the Powerful. It gives you a 20% increased damage for the time changes as you level up the gem. Currently I'm at 62 seconds after you kill an elite pack, and that's a little longer than it typically takes me to go from elite pack to elite pack in a greater rift. And then it always gives you a 15% damage increase against elites. Well guys, that's all I've got for you. If you have any questions, comments, or advice for me, go ahead and either send me a message or drop a comment down below. I didn't want to do any gameplay in this video because I wanted to keep it as short as possible. So if you want to see the build in action, you can look at one of my other videos I've posted. And I just want to thank you for watching.